MG just detonated a bomb in the truck market, and nobody, and I mean nobody, saw it coming. The brand that built its reputation on affordable crossovers just unleashed something that's about to flip the entire pickup world upside down. The MG U9, the cheapest modern pickup truck ever revealed, and the moment this thing hit the stage, jaws dropped so hard you could hear them echoing across the auto industry. This isn't a budget truck. This isn't a cute little entry model. This is MG throwing a full power punch straight at Toyota, Ford, Nissan, Chevy, and every single brand that thought they owned the affordable truck segment. The reveal starts with one shocking number: the price. MG is positioning the U9 so low that it makes the Maverick, the Hilux, even Chinese rivals like the Great Wall Power look expensive. And the second the price flashed on the screen, every competitor realized what was happening. MG isn't entering the truck market, no, they're ambushing it. Global automakers have been increasing prices year after year, squeezing customers with higher MSRPs, bigger trims, and market adjustments. But MG just said, nah, let's blow the door off this whole thing and offer a truck the average person can actually afford again. And the wild part? This thing doesn't even look cheap. The MG U9 rolls out with a bold, squared off front end, sharp LED lighting, huge muscular wheel arches, and a stance that screams compact price, mid-size attitude. It looks like a baby Raptor mixed with a cyberpunk concept, and the design team clearly aimed to make it feel modern instead of bargain bin. Even the interior, usually the first place where budget trucks cut corners, comes with a massive digital dash, a huge infotainment screen, soft touch panels, and an honestly impressive layout that feels way above its price bracket. MG didn't build a cheap truck. They built a truck that costs cheap but feels premium. But the biggest punchline is the powertrain. MG knows that trucks need torque, not excuses, and the U9 reportedly comes with a punchy turbocharged engine tuned for hauling, city driving, and long-distance commuting without drinking fuel like a V8 from the 90s. And because MG is owned by SAI, one of the biggest auto groups on the planet, they've packed in tech that rivals trucks twice its price. We're talking advanced safety features, adaptive cruise, lane systems, 360 cameras, and smart connectivity that puts some legacy brands to shame. And here's where the chaos really starts. MG isn't just targeting one market. The U9 is being positioned for global assault: Asia, South America, Eastern Europe, Africa, even potentially parts of Europe, where the compact truck segment is starving for fresh options. Ford, Toyota, and Nissan all rely on these markets for steady truck sales. And MG is kicking down the door, offering something far cheaper, far newer, and far more aggressively priced. This is the kind of move that forces entire companies to rethink their product strategy overnight, because the U9 isn't just a new truck, it's a warning shot. Automakers have been hiking prices, shrinking value, and assuming customers would just accept it. Meanwhile, MG walks in and says, "We're done waiting for the market to correct itself. We'll correct it for you." And that's exactly why the reveal of the U9 is sending shockwaves across the industry. Truck buyers who gave up, who walked away from ridiculous prices, who thought they'd never be able to afford a new pickup again. Suddenly, the game has changed. And it gets even crazier when you dive deeper into the features MG packed into this thing, because what they revealed next is what sent every competing truck executive into full panic mode. MG didn't just stop at price, looks, and tech. They went for the one thing no brand in this segment has dared to touch in years: value per dollar that's so extreme it almost looks illegal. Right after the on-stage demo, MG showed off the U9's bed setup, multiple tie-down points, a surprisingly deep cargo well, built-in power outlets for tools and camping gear, and a tailgate design that looks way too smart for a budget truck. You could feel the audience thinking the same thing. There's no way this truck is gonna be this cheap with all of this included, right? But MG didn't blink. They confirmed it all. Then came the durability test footage, and that's when the room went silent. MG displayed clips of the U9 hammering down gravel roads, bouncing over off-road obstacles, plowing through mud, and towing loads big enough to embarrass half the trucks in the compact class. And here's what makes that so insane. The U9 isn't meant to be a hardcore work truck, yet it performs like one. This is MG trying to tell the world, if Toyota can make the Hilux famous by proving its toughness, MG is about to build its own legend, and they're starting with the most accessible truck in the world. But the real twist, MG teased a hybrid variant. Yes, a hybrid pickup priced lower than some economy sedans. A truck that can tow, haul, off-road, and still sip fuel. The moment they revealed the hybrid system's projected fuel economy, the audience gasped because it directly undercuts Ford's Maverick, the very truck that reinvented the budget pickup space. MG just took Ford's entire playbook, threw it into a shredder, and wrote a new one from scratch. And if that wasn't enough, MG also announced warranty coverage that makes American automakers look stingy. Long-term coverage, high mileage protection, and service plans that are practically begging customers to switch brands. MG is banking on the idea that people want reliability without signing away their kidneys. And honestly, they're absolutely right. What makes the U9 so dangerous to the market is how predictable this chaos will be. The moment the first units hit the road, social media is going to explode. Influencers will call it the next big disruptor. Reviewers will post videos titled, "I didn't expect this from MG." And everyday buyers, the people who've been priced out of trucks for years, will finally have something real to consider. Ford, Toyota, Nissan, they all have products that cost thousands more while offering only slightly better performance, if at all. Suddenly, the entire pricing ladder looks shaky, unstable, ready to collapse. And MG knows exactly what they're doing. They're not polite about it. This isn't a gentle entry into the truck world. This is an aggressive takeover strategy. At $25K, the MG U9 becomes something dangerous, a disruptor with mass appeal, a truck so cheap, so competitive, so feature-packed that it forces the entire industry to react. Because if they don't, MG will take the whole bottom half of the truck market while everyone else sleeps. And just when the crowd was still processing the price shock, MG's spokesperson leaned forward, smiled, and said, "And by the way, we haven't even shown you the wild part yet." And that single sentence instantly electrified the room, because if $25K wasn't the wild part, then what on earth was MG hiding? The lights dropped again, a bass-heavy beat hit the speakers, and a new video started rolling, this time focusing on something under the truck. Close-up shots of suspension components, reinforced chassis rails, upgraded dampers, and protective underbody panels flickered across the screen. And that's when the truth finally hit. MG was unveiling a full off-road package for the U9, priced only slightly above the base model. The screen zoomed out to show the U9 Storm Edition, a rugged, lifted version with all-terrain tires, skid plates, roof rails, and a factory-installed snorkel. The crowd lost it. You could feel the disbelief. Every other brand charges thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, for off-road upgrades. MG is offering theirs at an insanely low premium, practically daring the competition to match them. This wasn't a gimmick. This was MG saying, "You want adventure? We'll give it to you," without emptying your wallet. Then the video cut to another scene, a U9 pulling a trailer up a brutal incline. Not a lightweight utility trailer, a real load. The narrator proudly announced a towing capacity that punches well above what anyone expected from a $25K truck. It was like MG was going down a checklist of everything customers want and smashing expectations one by one. Affordability, check. Tech, check. Off-road ability, check. Towing and hauling, check. Global availability, check. It's almost as if MG set out to embarrass the industry publicly. But this reveal wasn't just about capability, it was about adaptability. Low maintenance costs, accessible service parts, extended warranty support, and fuel economy numbers that make other compact trucks look outdated. When the comparison chart flashed up, showing a Maverick costing thousands more in fuel over 5 years, or a Hilux demanding higher maintenance, you could practically hear the collective panic from rival brands watching the live stream. And MG wasn't subtle about it. The presenters straight up said trucks should empower people, not drain their savings. That line instantly became a headline. It's the kind of statement that resonates deeply with buyers who feel priced out, ignored, or taken advantage of by skyrocketing truck prices. But then came the moment that truly broke the internet, the accessory lineup. MG revealed racks, tents, modular storage, bed extenders, off-road kits, worksite tools, an entire ecosystem built around a truck that costs less than some motorcycles. They're treating the U9 like a lifestyle machine, not a bargain bin appliance. This turns the truck into something people can personalize, upgrade, and show off. Something brands like Toyota and Ford have monetized for years. Except now MG is offering it all without the insane price tag. And just when you think the hype couldn't get any bigger, MG's spokesperson walked back on stage with one final tease saying, "We're not done yet. There's one more surprise about the U9 that changes everything." And that's when the screen lit up with the one number destined to explode across social media, news headlines, dealer forums, and every truck community on the planet. $25,000. Not starting around, not estimated, not before incentives. MG flashed it in giant bold letters like a direct challenge to the entire auto industry. $25,000 for a brand new modern pickup. The room went dead silent for a split second, and then people erupted like they had just witnessed auto history being rewritten in real time. Because $25K doesn't just undercut the competition, it obliterates them. The Ford Maverick, more expensive. Toyota Hilux, way more expensive. Nissan Frontier, not even close. Even Chinese rivals, the ones MG usually competes with, suddenly look overpriced. MG didn't just break the rules, they incinerated them. A $25K truck in 2025 is basically a message written in all caps. If we can do this, everyone else can too. So what's your excuse? And here's the part that's sending executives scrambling. At $25K, the MG U9 isn't a niche option. It's a mass market weapon. It's priced right in the sweet spot for first-time truck buyers, families needing a second vehicle, small businesses, delivery fleets, tradespeople, and rural drivers who just need something tough and affordable. It's the kind of price that makes people say, wait, I can actually buy this. I don't need a loan the size of a mortgage. It's the first time in years that a brand new truck feels attainable again. Then MG doubled down by revealing that $25K doesn't mean stripped down garbage. The base U9 still gets the turbo engine, the digital dash, the big touchscreen, active safety tech, driving assist, and all the clever storage that rivals usually reserve for higher trims. MG basically told the world, you shouldn't have to pay luxury car money just to get basic modern features. And that sparked applause so loud it drowned out the speakers. But what came next truly showed how aggressively MG is thinking. They broke down exactly why they can offer the U9 at $25K. And the answer terrified traditional automakers. MG revealed huge investments in vertical integration, local component sourcing, and scalable platforms that cut costs without cutting quality. They made it clear that the U9 isn't a cheap truck because corners were cut. It's cheap because MG built their manufacturing system to be ruthlessly efficient. And then they took a shot, yes, a direct shot at Western automakers, saying, pricing should reflect innovation, not inflation. That line didn't just hit, it detonated. You could practically visualize boardrooms at Ford, Toyota, GM, and Nissan lighting up with emergency meetings the second that clip went viral. Because consumers are tired of excuses. They're tired of $40K to entry-level trucks. They're tired of paying more for less. A direct challenge to companies that have spent decades milking brand loyalty. The message is loud and clear. Affordable trucks are back, and MG wants to be the king of that revolution. But what MG revealed next at the event is the moment everything shifted from interesting to historic. Because this is where the U9 stopped being just a cheap truck and became something much bigger. Something that felt less like a product launch and more like the beginning of a new era. Because right when everyone thought MG had already shown all their cards, they dimmed the lights, rolled a short cinematic clip, and revealed the part nobody expected. The MG U9 isn't just one truck, it's the first model in an entire global pickup lineup. That's right, MG isn't dipping its toes in the market, they're diving in headfirst with a multi-truck strategy that undercuts every major automaker at every price tier. The video showed silhouettes of a longer wheelbase version, a potential off-road variant with chunky tires and lifted suspension, and what looks suspiciously like an electric model. And that's when the room erupted. Automakers spend years, even decades, to build a truck platform that can expand into different models. MG is coming in with a full roadmap on day one, aiming to take slices of multiple segments at once. Compact urban trucks, affordable work pickups, lifestyle off-roaders, even future EVs for markets that demand zero-emission options. But the real power move was what they said next. MG has already secured manufacturing capacity for mass production. They aren't testing the waters, they're scaling from day one. That means no endless delays, no limited release, no small batch for select markets. This truck is coming everywhere as fast as MG can ship it, and that is terrifying for legacy brands who are still raising prices, still slowing production, still blaming market conditions for shortages customers no longer believe. Then MG dropped a hammer nobody was prepared for. They showcased the U9's total cost of ownership, and here's where things get truly dangerous. Not only is the MG U9 cheap to buy, it's cheap to own. MG showcased a modular bed system that snapped in accessories like Lego bricks. Camping modules, worksite tool racks, bike mounts, slide-out drawers, everything designed around real people, real lifestyles, real needs. And every single accessory, affordable. MG is building an entire universe around the U9, a lifestyle ecosystem that rivals the aftermarket support of trucks that cost double or triple the price. Then MG played customer testimony clips from pre-production testers. Farmers, delivery drivers, construction workers, city dwellers, they all said the same thing. Finally, a truck normal people can afford again. That line hit harder than any technical stat. That's the emotional punch MG is swinging with. The U9 isn't just a machine. It's a symbol, a rebellion against overpriced trucks, a return to sanity in a market gone off the rails. And just when everyone thought the presentation was finally winding down, MG's lead engineer stepped forward with a grin that sent a wave of anticipation across the stage. He said, "We've shown you the power, the tech, the capability, but there's still one last feature that makes the U9 unlike any other truck in its class." And the moment he said that, the screen behind him flipped to a completely new scene, something nobody in the audience had even considered possible at this price point. It showed the MG U9 parked in a driveway, plugged into a wall outlet, but not in the way you think. The narrator revealed the shocker. The U9 comes with vehicle-to-load power export. Yes, a 25K truck that can run your tools, your campsite, your appliances, even serve as emergency backup power for your home. People in the crowd literally gasped, because features like this are usually locked behind 70K electric trucks, not entry-level pickups. MG just crossed a line that legacy brands claimed was impossible at this price, proving once again that it was never impossible, just inconvenient for companies that wanted to keep margins high. The video then cut to real-world scenarios: a contractor powering his saws at a remote job site, a family running lights and fans at a campsite, a street vendor powering equipment without a generator. The message was crystal clear. The MG U9 isn't just a truck, it's a tool, a companion, a portable energy source that empowers the everyday driver, and all of it comes standard. No expensive add-on packages, no dealer markups, no premium trim required. MG made sure this tech is accessible from day one. Then the engineer walked up to a prototype bed-mounted control panel, tapped a button, and the crowd erupted again as the U9 showcased smart power management, a system that automatically prioritizes battery usage, monitors consumption, and keeps reserve power available so you never drain the truck when you need it most. This is the kind of tech people love because it's practical, it's real-world useful, and it solves actual problems, not the gimmicky fluff some companies shove into modern vehicles. Just when you think MG is done flexing, the engineer drops another bomb. The U9 can serve as a mobile generator for up to 36 hours on a single tank under average household load. That means storms, outages, emergencies. This little 25K truck has your back like a 100K electric pickup, and you could feel the entire auto world collectively sit up in their chairs. Because now MG wasn't just undercutting on price, they were beating big players on innovation, but the engineer wasn't finished. He stepped aside and the screen changed once more, showing the U9 driving through a narrow urban street. The narrator said, "You've seen the strength, you've seen the tech, but you haven't seen the genius that makes the U9 a threat to every truck on the planet." As the camera followed the U9 weaving effortlessly through tight alleyways, parking in compact spots, and maneuvering in places where traditional pickups struggle, and that's when MG revealed the next game changer: a best-in-class turning radius engineered specifically for crowded cities, job sites, and tight European streets. This wasn't some minor improvement.